Hello class, this is Mr. Broussard and I'm sending this video for the sixth week of our Composition 2 course. I hope you are all doing well. I wanted to send this video to let you know what it is that we will be doing for this week. Although first things first, obviously your short fiction essay, the critical analysis essay was due and hopefully has been turned in. I want to say only a few of you missed, so good as far as that. And actually, if I do remember, the two of you that missed, one no longer is in the course due to the miss, and then the other one has already failed the course due to academic integrity violations. So everybody pretty much got their work in that's still in the course. So good for you. And if you continue with the consistently good work that y'all have been producing on your reader responses, then there shouldn't be an issue as far as the grades that you will see. So let's hope that you continue with that great work and that you will continue with the great work that you'll be providing in this course through the poetry section. Of course, we started your poetry part last week. And so we will now continue on that with the poetry you will read for this week. A.E. Stallings' First Love Quiz on page 918. 918 is that one. Kim Anisio's First Poem for You on page 859. Edna St. Vincent Millay's What Lifts My Lips, Kiss and Where and Why, page 857. Tua's Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell on page 1110. And Tony Hoagland's Beauty, which is on page 1095. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poems to read. And as you probably learned last week, the good news is you don't have as much content to read, but the bad news is that means it's more on you to make sure you get the points of analysis that you need. This week in particular, with the A.E. Stallings First Love Quiz and Kim Anisio's first, actually check that. Although I do read around A.E. Stallings First Love Quiz, in particular the little after snippet after the poem, because it gives you a little heads up on the Persephone myth and how that influenced the poem itself. And so read that, make sure to read that blurb afterwards. Always read before and after the poems anyways, those little instructional parts, those are good things for you to know so you can write about them. And then, yes, in particular with that one, that little blurb after that, because you might not be aware of the Persephone myth and then how that plays into the poem as you read it. Also, with Kim Anisio's First Poem for You and Edna St. Vincent Millay's What Lifts My Lips, Kiss and Where and Why, you need to read around those poems in particular because then the pages before and then the parts in between those poems, you will learn about the poem form known as a sonnet, a 14-line poem, and two particular forms of sonnet, the Shakespearean English sonnet and the Petrarchian Italian sonnet, and what differences they are between the two, in particular when it comes to the rhyme scheme and how those are used, and then how the presence of iambic pentameter, which is 5 metered feet or 10 syllables per line, a consistency of those 10 syllable lines and what that plays, the importance that plays within one or the other of the types of sonnets that you will be reading and therefore writing about. And those could be good things to write your essay about, because again, a reminder, when we do get to the essay about poetry, there will be a mathematical component. So if you'd like to utilize that and maybe a balance between those two particular poems, you can do that for your reader response if you'd like, and then eventually have that be one of the points that you bring up when it does come time for your essay. That would be a good thing to write about. So those in particular. With Tua's Coy Mistress, the importance of that is, yes, rhyme scheme, and an unbelievable rhyme scheme if you think about it. Just go ahead and let you know. You basically have rhyming couplets throughout the whole thing. No, basically, you're having rhyming couplets throughout the whole thing, but it's one long form poem. It's the longest poem of all the ones you'll be reading, but it's basically couplet, 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 and back to back to back to back, all rhyming immediately. And I find that fascinating. You might find it boring, but that's something you could write about as well, and how those rhyme schemes are used, in particular the use of near rhyme, which means the rhymes don't have to be completely and exact for them to work as rhymes within poetry. Literary license is very much used in all forms of literature, but in poetry, near rhymes work. Even in particular with this poem, the way you say certain words, the way you would say a word now is different from the way you would say it then. And even if you have to manipulate the way you would say it now, if any of you are South Park fans, think about Cartman and the way he said certain words on the show, and you say some of the words in that poem, the way he would say it, you hit the rhyme. You would hit the rhyme the way it's supposed to be. So have that one there. And then Tony Hoagland's is pretty good as well. So you have a lot to delve into within all those poems, and that you can read about, obviously, and then write about when it comes to your reader response and maybe eventually your essay itself. So make sure you read the poems, make sure your reader response is done, make sure your journal is done for this week. Just to let you know, there's a very good chance I will not be physically on campus for the next 2 days because the whole campus might be shut down. We don't know anything yet or official about school. So if you're in a physical class on one of our campuses, don't say Mr. Pruso said I don't have to show up. We don't know anything official yet, but considering Biloxi High and a few other high schools and school systems around here have already shut things down for the next couple of days, there's a chance we will as well. So be aware, go to our school website. To be brutally honest, you will not be able to avoid it because when we say we're doing things or not doing things, you will get a text, you will get a phone call. This thing will blow up probably about 4 something in the morning because they love doing that. You'll get an email saying, hey, we're open, or hey, we're closed for whatever time. So I just want you to be aware of the fact that we may be closed. In case some of you aren't aware of this, and I have to explain these things because I've learned some of you aren't aware of these things. There's a hurricane in the Gulf and it's coming right for us. In fact, the center of the eye of the storm, the last time I checked, is supposed to go over the Biloxi Yacht Club. So yeah, we won't be able to do anything if that's the case, at least for a little while. So keep an eye on the weather for your own safety, but also for the work that you may not be doing. If we have to be closed a certain amount of days, and we need to be a little flexible with time as far as work and when it's done, we can do that. And we're already doing that because of COVID, so that'll be fine. Sorry, my boss is waving through, telling me she's leaving. But yes, just please make sure that you're aware of your own situation and then aware of our situation as well as a school. Your safety's first, of course, and then if we have to be flexible with work, we can do so. That's actually why I'm doing the video today. Normally I don't do these, and you may have realized this until Wednesday. You may be wondering why this video is a day early. It's because I might not be here tomorrow, and I don't want to leave y'all hanging, waiting for a video to only come on Friday, or if it really nails us somehow, we might be here Friday, and I don't want y'all being scared, wondering what's going on. Oh, to be brutally honest, if it's one of those type of storms, it all of a sudden just gets really strong and it comes right for us, we're going to have bigger problems. So just want you to be aware of these things, and that's why this video is a day earlier than it normally would be. I hope you're all doing well, and I will send another video next week. If I get to